With a bandage around his head, Brad Cummins rattled by a road rage incident that happened on the shoulder of the Anthony Henday Drive.
He could have killed me. He could have killed me.
Cummins says he passed a vehicle and then noticed he was being tailgated.
Inches from my bumper. So I went and I pulled over to the other side, and he starts flagging me to pull over. I got out of my car to talk to him, and he pulls out this weapon, a baton. He said he was going to smash my head in, is what he said. He threatened me. He pulled out a weapon, and he said he was going to bash my head in. I go to get back in my car, and he runs me over. He hit my door. My door flew back and hit me in the head.
Cummins says the man then drove off, but he didn't get very far. About 2 kilometers away, his car found here, with a flat tire. The front passenger side clearly smashed up. The driver was arrested. Firefighters and police scouring this ditch, trying to find that baton, though it was never used.
Hey!
But a club was used in an incident in Peterborough a few days ago. The shocking video showing a man repeatedly hitting a cyclist.
You just hit him with a club!
I tried to walk away.
He's since been charged.
Oh my God! Oh my God, he drove right into him!
And earlier this week in Toronto, a dispute resulted in this pickup truck T-boning another vehicle. Latest stats reveal 1 in 3 Canadians are victims of road rage, at least once a month. Edmonton police advising people not to engage and instead call 911.
If you get out of your vehicle and start causing problems on the side of the road, it can put you at risk.
Cummins dealing with the aftermath of his encounter with the alleged aggressive driver, but he says he's glad the suspect is in custody.
It's absolutely nuts, man. Like, I don't get it, man. People need to calm down.
Angela Jung, CTV News, Edmonton.
I agree with that guy. People need to calm down. People need to calm the fuck down. Like, there's just such a lack of consideration and so much incompetence on the road, and so many people are in such a hurry to get where they're going, and so much distracted driving. Like, it's just like, I don't know, it's like a dance of idiots on our fucking road system. And it's not just drivers either, like all walks of life that use our road. Notice I say road users. So drivers, cyclists, e-bikers, pedestrians, rollerbladers, and everyone that uses our road needs to use some common sense, follow the rules of the road, and be considerate of one another. Like, for example, as a pedestrian, since I don't have a car right now, as a pedestrian, when I'm walking along the road, I'll always use the sidewalk. Unless the sidewalk is unusable for whatever reason, like construction or whatever, I always use the sidewalk. And if I have to cross the road, I'm going to cross at a stop sign, I'm going to cross like an always stop sign or a traffic light or a designated crosswalk. And if I'm crossing at a traffic light, I'm only going to cross when I do have that pedestrian signal, the white pedestrian signal. If I'm at a traffic light to cross and the orange signal has already come on, the orange flashing hand's already come on, and I haven't started crossing yet, I'm not going to start crossing until the next time that I get the white pedestrian signal. That's what everyone should be doing. But despite that, despite crossing only when I have the white pedestrian signal, I've still had people, whether they be right turners or left turners, who are not paying attention to what the hell they're doing. They might be on their phone or doing whatever. They're just not paying attention. They're not looking out for pedestrians. And there have been a number of times that I've had some close calls that I've almost gotten hit. And yeah, if someone comes close to hitting me with their car, yeah, I'm gonna get pretty angry at them. I'm not gonna become physical. The only way I'm gonna hit someone is if they hit me first. But yeah, I'll yell at them. I'll call them a fucking asshole. I'll flip them off and everything. Because if I'm doing my part and following the rules of the road and paying attention to what I'm doing, you should be doing the same thing too. And even though I don't have a car, I do still have a valid driver's license. And as a matter of fact, I drive for a living. If I'm driving on a city street or any kind of, even a country road where there's driveways and roads on the right and the left-hand side of the road, and I'm doing the speed limit, you have no bloody right tailgating me. Like, some people seem to have this perception that even if you're driving on city streets where there's driveways and roads on the right and left-hand side, some people have this false perception that even if you're driving on a city street with driveways and roadways on the left and the right-hand side, that you should be in the right lane and only get in the left lane if you're making your left turn or if you're passing someone. No, that right turn cruising, left turn passing lane thing, that only applies on expressways. Like here in Ontario, if you're driving on Highway 401, for example. Or down in the States, if you're driving on the interstate system. That only applies if you're driving on a highway that has all or most of its exits on the right-hand side. There have been a number of times where I've been driving on a highway like the 401 in the right-hand lane, doing the speed limit of 100 kilometers an hour, or I might even be a few kilometers over, like doing 105 or 110, and I've had some idiot 2 feet from my back bumper tailgating me. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Don't you see those other lanes that you can pass me and go around me in? And another group of people that I have a big beef with, I know that not all cyclists are inconsiderate assholes. There are some good cyclists out there that follow the rules of the road. You know, they stay right to the right-hand side of the lane. And if they're cycling at nighttime, they have the proper lighting on their bikes and all that. But there seems to be a lot of cyclists out there that are just selfish assholes that will go darting in and out of traffic. Cyclists that will go passing cars on the right-hand side when that car is signaling, has its right turn signal on, signaling that's going to be making a right-hand turn. Cyclists that basically go riding down the wrong side of the road. Cyclists that go riding the wrong way on one-way streets. Cyclists that go running stop signs and red lights. And then they have the nerve to get all pissed off at you if you blow your horn at them or say anything to them. Another thing that pisses me off as a driver is when you get these idiot drivers that are driving too fast for the road conditions. Like if you're driving in a snowstorm on the 401 and there's like 5 centimeters or 2 inches of snow already on the ground on the highway and it has not been plowed yet, you shouldn't be doing 100 kilometers an hour. Like maybe a more sensible speed to be doing in a snowstorm depending on the road conditions. Sometimes if the highway is really bad, sometimes you should only be doing 60 or 70 or 80 kilometers an hour. I mean, that's why you get so many of these multi-vehicle pileups and snowstorms. And it seems like I've been all across Canada, the absolute worst city in Canada for road users, hands down, is Toronto. Montreal is also pretty terrible, but I'd say Toronto is the worst. I don't know. It just seems like most Toronto drivers, they're just always in a hurry, very inconsiderate, very impatient. Many of them are incompetent. Like, I kind of wonder how many of them even have a valid driver's license. Everyone, use a bit of common sense. Give yourself sufficient time to get from A to B. And if you're driving, put down your bloody phone and pay attention to the road. And if you're walking or cycling, same deal. Don't be playing Pokemon Go if that's still a thing while you're walking along a busy street as a pedestrian or while you're crossing a road. Don't be texting while you're walking at a crosswalk. Look up and pay attention to where the hell you're going. People just need to just use more common sense and be more considerate of one another. The world would be a much better place if people would do just that little bit.